What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Absolute bloodbath, blood on the streets today. Most coins down over 20%, and it is looking ugly, guys. It is looking ugly for the altcoin space and the crypto space. But is it all over? That is the question that everyone is asking. It is looking really bad. There's no denying that. And yeah, if you had any, long leverage, then I think, it's probably been stopped out, has been liquidated. But it is what it is. We move on, we take it on the chin, and it's just an opportunity at the end of the day, because on Bitcoin on the daily chart, we're obviously down to that 95, 96K region again. ETH got absolutely nuked, and it actually took out this low over here, which was printed on the 5th of August. So that is not a good sign. That is not a good sign at all. It's basically back at the level that we see before Trump won the election, and that isn't a great sign. It's not looking amazing, and we have lost this key level over here of 2,800. I think if we can reclaim that, there could be a point of going long, and we can hit this 5K target. But honestly, the best thing to do in these situations is wait it all out. It's very unlikely that there's going to be a miraculous recovery all the way back to 110K all-time highs. The same with the altcoins. You saw the altcoins were down 25%. You see Mantra still holding up there. Chainlink 20%, Sui 20%. I think it's a good opportunity. I think this is a good leverage flush, a good flush, and I think only the strong projects will last. So things like Ondo and Sui and that kind of stuff, that will be pretty good. A good buying opportunity, and things like Casper and just the fundamentally strong projects that you did believe in prior to the dump. That is a good opportunity and a sale. And you can see a lot of stuff has taken a massive beating, and we're going to have a look at some altcoins as well in a bit. But massive liquidation event, obviously, something huge like this. I haven't seen this before. $2.3 billion in the last 24 hours. That is enormous. And if we go down to this chart over here, the day before was pretty big as well. It was over $1 billion liquidated, according to CoinGlass. Obviously, according to CoinGlass. So yesterday, more than a $922 million worth of longs liquidated, and then recently 1.1 billion liquidated. Guys, that's enormous. That's basically $2 billion of longs liquidated in the past 2 days, and that is insane. That is insane. We saw something quite similar over here. It's obviously a bit more, but it was only for the 1 day, and we just lost our 5th of August low as well. So we can't compare it to that. But this is a massive liquidation event. The long to short ratio is also skewed. It was massively skewed, but that also continued to move to the downside. According to High Block Capital, let's have a look at this quickly. So according to this, a lot of the players are building shorts now. So I think we could get a short squeeze or a move to the upside. But will it just be a dead cat bounce, or is the bottom in? That we don't know. It's likely to be a dead cat bounce for now. But I don't think there's any point rushing into any trades at the moment, because you often get that secondary retest. So I just want to speak about this capitulation event that we saw in August, because it's actually quite similar to this. Okay, so this little dump down here, massive liquidation event, came into a key level. We got a strong bounce. But I just want to say something here, that there's no point buying this low, in my opinion, because you often come down and test it again. So now there'd be a lot of liquidation. Then what you might see is something very similar to this. And what happens is that you get this like sideways grind period over here. Sideways grind, little fake out. And then this is the move that you want to buy, guys. And we can go back in history and we can have a look at capitulation events. And we can have a look at how it normally plays out. And you normally do get a second chance over here. So if we have a look at this period over here, basically 1 year before this, you see that we do get that capitulation event to the downside, massive sell-off. Then you get that grind, fake out. Then price comes down to test it one more time, and this is the opportunity to get in. And you'll see that the fear and greed will probably come down, and then you'll start seeing a lot of posts that it's most definitely all over here. And then that is normally your opportunity to scale into your positions. And then you can wait for that breakout of the downsloping resistance, which will form, guys. It will form. There will be something forming. It happens every single time. So in my opinion, I would be waiting for a breakout of this downsloping resistance over here. Guys, this is the most likely scenario in my opinion. So right now, definitely do not rush into any positions, guys. There's no point. There's no point. I'll tell you why, because you are going to be buying right now, then it's just going to grind sideways, and you're going to get very worried about your position. You're going to be doubting it, this and that, and then you're probably going to sell in a loss when this move comes down again. We maybe test 50% of the wick, but what you actually want to be doing is waiting for the daily close, watching how the week pans out, and then once you do get that breakout of this downsloping resistance, which might only be in 3 weeks' time, guys, definitely sit on your hands. How long did we wait for over here? So this was the 5th of August, and we waited a whole month, guys. We waited a whole month for this breakout, and this breakout would have been the breakout over here. So that's basically, a month and a half, 44 days. So that is how long it can take, guys. Definitely do not rush into any trades at the moment. I know, guys, our portfolios got smashed. Mine got smashed personally. And, it's part of the game, guys. It's part of the game. Big wins, big losses. I mean, like, we're still in a profit from, the buying that we did in September and October. So, guys, it's just about waiting it out and, knowing that you have bought into strong, fundamentally strong projects, and that, if you have bought into fundamentally strong projects, then you just have to give it time, guys. Just have to give it time. Now's obviously not the time to panic sell. Can we come down and, fill these wicks over here? Yes, we can, guys. There is a fair value gap over here. We have to be honest with ourselves. There is a fair value gap over there. And I think this is the CME gap over there, something like that. But it can happen, guys. It can happen. I don't think there can be much more damage over here, but you never know. In the crypto space, it normally overbalances in an extreme way in both directions. So yes, I personally would not be doing any buying now. I would only be buying if we break out of this downsloping resistance, which if it had to grind sideways until it broke out there, that would only be in March. Okay, so that is a month away. At the moment, you're gonna have to be patient in this game. But if we can get a miraculous recovery, we would like to see Bitcoin close above the 50-day EMA, and we'd like to see it close above yesterday's low, that being at 96,200. So we might see a little bit of a move coming with the US Open. I know it's probably the US Open's gonna nuke. We're gonna speak about the traditional markets now. But if Bitcoin can come up and close above the 50-day EMA, that might be a nice, sign of strength. And then for Bitcoin to be in a strong position, we'd want to get above the 50% level of the recent move down. So this is at the all-time highs, all the way down to the low created today. If price does come lower, then we're just going to keep adjusting this. And then basically, if this is the low, we're going to want to see price grind up and get above this 100,600 over here. Let's go back there. We want to see price get above here. So basically, we might come up, get rejected, come up again. And then once we get above this 100,600 level over here, or above this downsloping resistance, ideally, you'd want to get above both. So I think we can see something like this playing out for sure. And then once you get above this, something like that, then this is your sign to go long. And then we can zoom in on the 4-hour and look for higher lows to put our stop losses. But guys, definitely do not buy this. It's not worth buying. We know how this plays out. I can show you 2 of the scary liquidation events. I've been studying this cycle the whole time. This was an extreme fear and ridiculous capitulation event, and we came and tested the lows again. And this happened again as well. I remember it, this massive dump over here. Tested at the bottom again as well. And if we go to the FTX collapse as well, what happens? You get the massive wick, and you at least grind sideways for a bit, guys. You at least grind sideways. Just remember that you at least go sideways. That was 2 months. That was 2 months. This was the one in August. We went sideways for 1 month. But you basically have 2 months of buying opportunities, guys. In hindsight, this is still a good buy. So guys, give yourself a month there. If you're looking to ape in DCA, I'd be DCAing. You could buy every day for the next 2 months and you'd probably get a good entry. I do believe that this is going higher, guys. This is going higher. I don't think the cycle's over. You do get these massive capitulation events in cycles, and it's very likely that this is another one. And what's great is with Bitcoin, wouldn't even take out this low here, guys. So there is buying, there is buyers stepping into the market. What I would like to see for Bitcoin is a hold of this level, which it just broke through now. So there's this downsloping, previous downsloping resistance, which acted as support. I'd like to see Bitcoin get above this and stay above that, guys. So let's call it like that. This line over here, we're obviously below it now and below the support. We'd like to get above that for sure. And I've had this box out here for a while between 92.5 and 87.5. This has been a good buy box, and we came into the box again recently right over there. So yeah, I'd like to see Bitcoin and the crypto market hold that up. We can speak about Ethereum later, but I mean, no point really getting super excited. We'd have to at least see a reclaim of 2,850 to even think of longing Ethereum. So what's most likely going to happen, let's just conclude with Bitcoin quickly, is we're probably going to get a nice daily wick. Let's say we close at like 95, 96K. Then we've got a 50% wick over there. Then we're probably going to refill that 50% wick again. So you can see that the wick fill strategy worked over here as well. Right over there. Basically to perfection, okay? So we had this wick, which was left on Monday, the 13th of Jan. And basically, price obviously ran away. So I took this level off. I thought that we were definitely going to hold this level over here, but nothing always goes to plan. And we came down and we tagged 50% of that wick again, okay? So the 50% wick strategy, I think it works really well. And I think we're going to have to keep the levels on there for long in case there are more capitulation events when we do climb into higher prices. But for Ethereum, we're probably going to be left with the wick, and then we're probably going to fill 50% of that wick. So definitely don't rush into anything for now, guys. Definitely don't rush. Solana. Okay, so Solana's looking a little bit better than Ethereum. I mean, it has been looking better for a while. We've had this region over here marked off on the charts when we were getting into our Solana longs over here. And you can see Solana's looking a bit better because it is above the, the 200-day EMA over here. We've obviously wicked below it, but it hasn't taken out this low yet, guys. It hasn't taken out the low yet. And that's significant, guys. That is significant. And you can see there's a massive SR flip happening over here. And this is the level that we want to see hold. We don't want to close candles below here. And I think the line in the sand for Solana is this 154 level. This low, I don't think you want to take out this low, guys. Not at all for Solana. We could wick through there, of course, but for now, we have to look at proper SR regions, support and resistance. So this is obviously resistance, resistance, resistance. We broke through, tested it as support. So we have to call this support, guys. It is support, and this is a good region to be buying Solana. I think anything under, this $200 mark is pretty decent for Solana. So I'm going to be adding to my Solana position definitely at this region. I think this is a good region to be buying Solana. Let's check XRP, guys. That's a massive wick, guys. That is a huge wick. 44% down. Basically, if you had any leverage on XRP from this region over here, you were wiped out. You were wiped straight off, liquidated for sure. And this just showed that this bearish divergence was quite strong. And we did break down the support. This is obviously on a Sunday. Wasn't paying attention as it is a Sunday. But look how, you can really nuke fast in crypto. So I wouldn't be touching that either. Bitcoin dominance, cycle highs. I did not see this coming. But there we go, massive wick. Will this be the wick high? We'll have to wait and see, guys. I wouldn't rush into this. What would be nice to see is Bitcoin dominance closing red today. That could be showing a nice wick. USDT dominance, this is not really what we wanted to see either. but it is what it is. And we basically came into this fair value gap, which I marked off ages ago. I want to see USDT dominance come back and close below this range high. This was the range high. We can extend it to there technically. If this can close red today, this would be a good sign. In a massive flush out. And you often see that these big wicks left behind do mark the bottom for crypto or the top for USDT dominance. So we're going to have to wait and see about this wick, because you can see it over here. What happened here? The 5th of August, massive wick to the downside. Massive wick to the upside. So it marked the bottom for crypto. Over here, potentially the exact same wick. And you can go all the way back in history. I'm sure I marked it off on the weekly time frame ages ago. So here you can see this was the FTX wick over here, massive wick. It's better on the weekly time frame, which we can have a look in a bit. But for now, this is looking like the top or the bottom for crypto. So only time will tell if it is actually the bottom. So the US markets have opened right now, which we're going to go into now. But let's have a look at total. So total finally got that bounce off the 200-day EMA. This was the line in the sand for us. We did not want to see any closes below this. This was a line in the sand. If if crypto comes down and we start closing candles below 2.72 trillion, I would say that it's not going to be looking good for crypto at all. And this is the line in the sand. So this is still bullish technically. This was the previous all-time high of the 2021 cycle. We want to close above this at all times. Otherwise, this is going to be looking like a deviation. So where's my pen? Here we go. This could be one big deviation, get back into the trading range, and then we're likely to visit the range low. Okay. We can come all the way down here for sure. That is only if we close below this 2.7 trillion. If we start to close below this 3 trillion region, then we can expect a sideways grind. But if we get below here and start closing daily and weekly candles below, then we can come all the way down there. So that is what we want to avoid at all costs. So for now, it's still looking good, guys. It's still looking good. Okay, so let's get into the traditional markets quickly, the macros. So the DXY obviously ripping to the upside with Trump and all the tariffs. People are backing the dollar to be the mighty currency. And this is a massive wick to the upside. Obviously, a lot of people were aping in with the news. So a lot of people aping in to the tariffs news over here over the weekend. So we'll have to see if this actually holds out. So I was thinking that this could come up. We get a double top, test the bottom of this upsloping support trend line, and then roll over. We'll have to see if that does happen. But for now, it is looking like a potential top. This is a previous resistance, so we have to treat that as resistance as well. Let's speak about the S&P 500 futures, obviously opening down with a massive gap over here. Not sure if this will get filled, but we are now below the 50% level of that wick that we saw with the fear on the 13th of Jan. So we are below that. We are below the 50-day EMA. So this could be the potential resistance. So let's see if we can get above this, then it will be looking a lot better. And that comes at about 6K. So we want to see S&P 500 futures get above 6K. Then we can see continuation to the upside. But for now, it is in the weaker half of the current range formed. And yeah, nice bounce off this 50% level, and that's from the lows on the 4th of November. But it is still bullish, guys. It's definitely it's closer to all-time highs than anything. So it is still bullish at all-time highs, and we're gonna have to look down for previous places that we did find support, and that would come over here, this region over here, 5,800, and then the 200 EMA. This is a strong region, and we could see this gap be filled over here, and that lines up with the EMA as well. But that's only if we start to lose levels such as the 5,800. So we'll have to look at that later. But for now, we're gonna have to wait and see how the day closes. When massive news events like the tariffs and this and that and big reactions happening, you do want to give it a day or two just for the market to digest the movement and the volatility. But we have seen a bit of a snapback. We were all the way down here at a stage. We were down 3%, and we're only down 1.8%. And there have been bigger moves to the downside before, so do not be surprised by something like this. VIX, okay, VIX coming in potentially to this range high again. We'll have to wait and see where the VIX closes. But for now, you know, it is in the middle, so this could come to the top or the bottom. So definitely expect volatility, guys. Definitely expect volatility for the stock market. Anything else that I want to touch on here? Not too much. So let's get back into the crypto, guys. At the end of the day, we are here for the crypto. And it looks like Bitcoin is getting a decent reaction, obviously, with the US being open for 8 minutes now. And we want to see it hold this upsloping support over there. ETH getting a bit of a bounce as well. This is a massive wick. Haven't seen anything like this in ages. So I want to speak about the 4-hour time frame, because the 4-hour often, you know, it gives us an opportunity to fill some fair value gaps. So I'm obviously zooming in on my daily chart. So I've got all the daily lines there. And fair value gaps often get filled, guys. So one fair value gap that I want to speak about is this one over here. Okay, this is a fair value gap. This will most likely get filled, in my opinion. And fair value gap on the 4-hour time frame. And that fair value gap's coming in at 102.8K to 103.8K. This fair value gap is likely to be filled, and I'm sure altcoins do have okay, we are getting a strong reaction over here for Bitcoin. We're gonna have to keep an eye on this. Okay, Ethereum, massive fair value gap. You can see it over here. We're probably going to fill that in the session right now. So that's a fair value gap over there. And if you don't know what a fair value gap is, you find a whole lot of red candles in a row or green candles in a row. And when you get a massive red candle, something like this over here, and you get those wicks for the prior and the post wicks or candles over there, you can go from the bottom of the prior to the top of the post, and this is your fair value gap. So this is likely to be filled. So if you are looking to get head short or look for a trade, this is a place where you likely are to pop up into and then get a rejection out of. I would say that there is a chance that this gets filled. I don't want to be a bear, guys, but you have to treat the. There we go. We are getting that reaction now. So if you are looking for a place to get a scalp short, 2,745, you could get a scalp short out of there. Of course, that's the top of the fair value gap. And I'll show you how fair value gaps work now. So we could get a push up to there, but this 2,300 is looking good for a 50% of the 4-hour wick. So definitely mark that level off for Ethereum. I think I'll start building longs in this region over here. But we'll see when that happens, guys, if it even happens. But for now, it's definitely extremely cheap. Okay, Solana also creating a bit of a fair value gap over here. This got filled, though. So Solana, look at this. You can see, look at all this bullish absorption. So a lot of bulls are stepping into the market and pushing price up here. So Solana's looking like, one that could get a pump. You can see the bullish absorption when you get all these wicks absorbing price over there, where Ethereum has just been chopping around. Bitcoin does look like it's making a bit of a move. Very volatile, guys, very volatile. Are there any altcoin requests that you guys want to have a look at? I mean, obviously days like today, we don't really want to have a look at things that have nuked like 30%. We'll just have to give it some time. But I want to speak about something, Ondo and guys, Ondo's green on the day. So let's go to the daily time frame. So I've obviously been very bullish on RWA, and look how this is reacting. This is reacting like nothing even happened. Nothing even happened. This is just another day in the office for Mantra, holding up really well. It's a decent part of my portfolio and is clutching up the portfolio. Ondo, guys, Ondo, massive wick. Look at that, huge wick, almost about to turn green on the day. And this is looking like, projects like this are looking good. WIF, not looking good. No one wants to buy this, guys. No one wants to buy this. There are no big buyers of WIF, guys. But you can see with Ondo, there are big buyers of Ondo buying it up. bulls are stepping in. People that believe in this kind of technology are stepping in. They're not stepping in for whiff. They aren't stepping in for Popcat. They're not stepping in, guys. And we can go over a lot of these altcoins. Pepe getting a bit of a better reaction than most, but I don't like how we've lost these previous highs, looking like one big deviation over there. Similar with Brett, lost these lows over here. But we did get the death cross. We haven't had a move into the death cross. So this could be, the zone where if you are holding Brett like I am, we're not selling at a loss, of course. So we're going to wait for a push up to here. A push up is inevitable, and just giving it patience is always, patience and time is always the best idea. But guys, definitely put Ondo on your list. I've had this on my list for a while. Obviously in this trade, we stopped at break even. We got in on this wick over here. Above the 200, being heavily bought up. But the stuff got smashed. Literally, if you were in any leverage, it got deleted. Here we go. Here's some green projects on the day. We've got ENA up on the day. Uniswap up on the day. Hype. Guys, Hype's holding up. Guys, don't fade this. It's looking good. Good reaction today. I think this is a really good chance to get into Radium. If you are a Radium bull, over here, nice bounce off the 200-day EMA, basically. But this looks like a little deviation back into the range. So I think, guys, it's most likely going to take time. Chainlink on sale over here came down to $15.50. That's pretty wild. ENS as well, bit of a sale. But not that bad, guys. Not that bad. At least these are my projects that I'm in at the moment. This was a bit of a wild card. This is getting smashed. This is a good example of just buying hype and having a look at what everyone else is buying. Instead of just buying the charts garbage, actually, guys, it's trading below this. These AI bots aren't it. They aren't it. Well, that's what the chart says, guys. That's what the chart says. Sui as well, not looking bad. So Sui got a nice bounce off this previous level over here. That was coming around the $3. I remember buying this limit order at $3 here. So we basically, we have kind of round tripped it. But Sui, from a chart perspective, is looking a lot better than a lot of the other charts. So what we're gonna have to do is, there we go. Look at that. So that works out pretty well. Let's make this a normal line. There we go. Here's an upsloping support. That's a bit big. There we go. Perfect bounce on the upsloping support. If you are a Sui bull, okay, so we don't want to lose this $2.93 for Sui. You can see this is the 50% level. Let me get rid of this. This is the $2.93. We don't want to close below this. Obviously, big wicks are allowed as it is crypto, but we don't want to close below this $2.93. So definitely mark this off on your charts. This is a good chance of being if it can come below, get a little bounce off there, close above, then we can favor this as being a stronger project for sure. Nice bounce off this old top as well. See, old top came into it again. Strong bounce off there. And if we move this up to the previous low. Sorry, guys. There we go. Oh, it's the wrong one. Too many charts here, guys. We want to see Sui get above this $3.50. That would be looking, pretty good. This is obviously the Trump win and the Trump low around that time. So what you'd want to see for Sui is for Sui to get a little pump up, come and test the $3.50 as support, and then we can be looking at higher prices. But this is definitely a chart that is looking a lot better than the others. Casper, this must have liquidated everyone. And look at that, 50% of the wick, perfect retest over there. But yeah, Casper sitting at range lows. If you are a fundamental bull of Casper, obviously it's always good to buy range lows. Of course, it is good to buy range lows. But as I said, I'm going to say it again, I wouldn't rush into anything yet. I would just wait to see how Bitcoin reacts this week. Could we see the 200-day EMA tested? Of course we can. And this could just be a good buying opportunity. So I think what you want to do is you want to mark off important levels. So let's have a look at Ethereum, for example. You'd want to see this reclaim this range over here. Okay, so this was obviously a massive deviation. Came back into the range. Then it looks like we fell straight through it. We liquidated everyone who had their stops over here, all liquidated. And now you want to see Ethereum gets bought up. Then you want to see it test this $2, this 2,800 region. This is your level to buy. So not now. You want to buy when it's a bit more expensive, but it looks like things are confirmed. And looking at Ethereum, we do want to see it close above this level over here, 2,700. That's what we want to see. We want to see it close above there. And there we go. How's that? Perfect test of this trend line, which you haven't tested in ages. And you can actually draw it all the way over there. There we go. 1, 2, third touch, crazy touch. But yeah, we want to see Ethereum close above 2,850. That's what I want to see, at least as an Ethereum bull, of course. But for now, definitely no trade setups. If people are buying now, I think it's a bit of a silly time to buy. It's always better to sit on your hands in times like these, get some sun. Look at which projects are outperforming other projects. Look at projects which are getting a strong bounce, a strong reaction, where bulls are stepping into the market, where there are obvious buyers. That's what you want to be buying, guys. You don't want to be buying, stuff that's in a massive downtrend and very unlikely to recover. So I think a lot of the meme coins are definitely suffering at the moment. So, I mean, there's no reason to be buying meme coins, guys. I'd personally be, if I had to choose one token, to buy and DCA into, it would be Ondo, guys. Definitely it would be Ondo. I'd be tempted to even just start rotating all of this stuff into Ondo. Obviously it sucks to sell at a loss, but if you are in the crypto market, then I think at this point in time, we do want to be in the fundamentally strong tokens. And Ondo is one of my favorite, guys. Ondo is definitely one of my favorites. Okay, let's have a look at some altcoin requests quickly. Daniel, how are you doing, bro? Let's have a look at SPX. Let's bring it up there. Okay, so like there would be a lot of support in this region over here due to its having a lot of volume traded in this area, of course. The zone to get above for SPX would be the 50-day EMA at $1.13. I wouldn't be buying it now. We can see how it reacts, but it has lost this key level over here. So this was a resistance level, broke through, came and tested as support, got another bounce over there. Then we did nuke straight through. So if you are in this and you're looking to get out of this, you could wait for a pump up to this dollar region and see how it reacts, because we could roll over from there, or we could break through and retest it, something like that. So I would say this is the key level that we want to hold for sure. Let's have a look at move. I haven't actually charted move yet. Okay, so this is at support. There's previous support over here. Looks like we've deviated below it. But for move, you want to see a strong daily close, and you want to see a daily close above 64.65 cents, guys. So if we can get above this level over here, I would say just draw it out, this line over here. So this is the previous open and closes, and we got some strong bounces off there. So what you want to see is for this to push up over the next few days, test this as support, and you can put your stop loss underneath these lows over here. But only once it breaks out, guys. So what you want to see is a break and close above this level over here, then you can start maybe longing the next retest, and then stops below even the previous day's wick over there, something like that, guys. But if it can close above yesterday's low, then I think there is a bit of a chance here. What's up, bro? How you doing? Let's have a look at H bar. H bar. So H bar is one of the stronger tokens. It is, well above previous levels. It got a nice bounce off the 200-day EMA, and it is above the macro 50% level at 22 cents. So I think if H bar can close above 22 cents, it is in a stronger position than the majority of other coins. This is obviously the Trump victory. We got that parabolic move and a bit of a consolidation here. So if it's above the 50% level, closing candles, it's good. Nice bounce, as I just mentioned, above the 200-day EMA over there. So if it can close above here, then I think it is still in a bullish structure. A key level for H bar is this zone over here. So if you are looking to offload your H bar, you could offload it into this level over here. If it does get a push up, you could offload easily, because I think it's going to get a little bit of a grind around here for a while. So that is what I would do for H bar. If you come into this 22 cents again, then it could be a buying opportunity. Okay, let's have a look at Plume. P. Okay, so showing a bit of strength today. Yeah, this is looking good, guys. You want to see projects that are being bought up over here. So this hasn't even taken out the lows created at the end of Jan, which is strong. So basically, it's creating a higher low. It's obviously extremely volatile. I mean, this is a 30% move from the bottom today. So yeah, definitely trade this with caution. And if you are getting bullish on this, you can put your stop loss over here. I mean, you can't really trade this with leverage. So if you are looking for a spot bid and something that looks strong, this does look stronger, as it has created a higher low to that of Jan. So yeah, it's a good one. I'm going to mark this one off. Have a look at that. Blender. Okay, Blender is around here. It's only down 1% today. So this has taken out the lows. And look how this worked. So this was the previous support. We obviously lost that level. Tested it at resistance perfectly, and then we did come down. You are forming some kind of bullish divergence, creating lower lows with higher lows in the RSI. But for Blender, what I would like to see is a reclaim of 30 cents. So this would look like one deviation, and we could get above this level, test it as support, as it most likely will be tested, and then we can look for higher levels. But for now, I think I'd wait for a reclaim of 30 cents before getting too excited. It obviously is a decent move away. You'll miss out on a 45% move, but this is your, that is the cost of insurance. So look at ENA. ENA, I'm invested in ENA, and it is having a good reaction today. I think I pulled it up earlier. ENA, here it is, up 4% today. Okay, so here we go. So this was the previous liquidity sweep. That was another liquidity sweep now. And this was a massive level for ENA. Let me just get rid of a lot of, okay, this is a fair value gap, guys. I'm not, sorry, a bit distracted here. Let me just talk about this level quickly. So this level over here, support, lost the level, resistance was stuck underneath until we broke through and we tested it as support. So this is a massive level. We came into this level, got a decent bounce. We are green today. So that doesn't look too bad. This is an example of a fair value gap, which will probably get filled. Okay, so that's obviously a decent percentage away, 80 cents. Mark this off on your charts, guys. If you are an ENA bull and you do like the tech and the fundamentals behind ENA, then this is a good spot buy, in my opinion. Very good spot buy. It doesn't matter how long you hold it for, but you're likely to get an 80% move out on this, guys. Fair value gaps do often get filled. I'll show you an example of a fair value gap getting filled, and that was actually Ethereum. So previously, this came down, created the fair value gap. So obviously, red day, red day, red day. And then this is the wick low of the previous day, the wick high of the post day. And that created the fair value gap. And we did get that push into there. So if you look at ENA, it does look quite similar. So there's the fair value gap. So I think we could get a push into the fair value gap. So I think ENA is a decent buy. And as I said, it's about an 80% move, 74% move to the bottom, 90% move to the top. Okay. Any thoughts on grass? Okay, I do have a bit of grass somewhere. Let's pull it up. Okay, a bit of a dump. So this also lost the level, tested it as resistance, and then rolled over. So I'd be patient on this one. I don't have too much data on grass, but yeah, you would like to see grass get above $2, and then it would also look like that deviation pattern. But for now, obviously everything's got that big wick today with the massive dump. So I'd just be patient on this one, guys. I would be patient on this one. Wait for a bit. Wait for a little bit of a breakout, and like. This is the kind of breakout you'd be waiting for. Get above here, then there's a case for a long, stops below. But for now, I would be patient. Okay, guys, so I think that kind of wraps it up today. Bitcoin getting a stronger reaction over here. If you go to Banter Bubbles on the hourly, bit of a pump. Nothing spectacular for now, but definitely mark off the important levels. This 106K is the level that we want to get above, and we want to stay above this cross. X marks the spot. We came into the spot, got good reaction out of there. But guys, so today we're probably going to get a nice wick to the downside. And remember that it takes a while to grind. We're probably going to have a sideways grind for a bit. So definitely don't get your hopes up if we do get a quick move to the upside. But I'll chat to you guys on Wednesday about the wick strategy, because I think we will get a nice wick today. Then we can come and test 50% of that wick. But for now, guys, the data suggests that it is a massive bottom, guys. It's a huge bottom. Over 2 billion liquidated, over 2 billion longs liquidated in the past 2 days. That's a massive sign of a capitulation. The same thing happened in August. And yeah, I think this is most likely the bottom. But the reason I'm not going to buy now is because we always get that sideways grind for a couple of weeks before we get the push up. So I wouldn't rush into any buys today, even if this is the bottom, because we're probably going to come test 50% of the wick. But guys, I want to leave you guys there. Happy trading. If I do post any setups, I'll post them in the Telegram group. But shout guys for joining through. If you guys are new to the channel, definitely subscribe and smash the like button. It goes a long way. But guys, trade safe, trade well, be safe out there, and we'll see you guys later this week.